Factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. So when we have a coefficient in front of our largest term, it's actually going to change the complexity of factoring that trinomial by quite a bit. Okay, because now not only do we have to figure out our factors of c to find our last term in each of our binomials, but we have to figure out our factors of a to figure out the first term. Okay. However, that's not where it stops, because we also have to figure out the order. Because if I have a large number and a large number, that's going to make an even larger b value than if I had a large number and a large number and a small number and a small number. Okay, and we'll look at that especially in the next video. But what I'm saying is sometimes using guess and check for these can result in a long series of trying to figure it out. Okay, you've got to go through a lot of different possibilities. So we are factoring ax squared plus bx plus c by guess and check. Okay, and that works. All right, you can go through the factors to see which ones work, but as I said, it can take a little while. All right, our first step, no matter what, is to find those factors. So the factors of 6 are 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. And the factors of 9 are 1 and 9, and 3 and 3. Okay? So now, as I said, the order matters, but the order only matters on one of them, right? So we will have for one of our pairs. Okay, so if I have 1x and 6x, and then I have 1 and 9, okay, I'll have to check what it is for either 1x and 6x and 9 and 1, right? That'll be different. These two will be different. But I don't have to then go back and change and put 6x here and 1x here and 9 and 1, because that'll be the same as this first one. So you have two possibilities for each set of two factors. Okay? So let's figure out what this is. All of these are going to end up with 6x squared and 9. Right? That's what looking at my factors is going to give me. So I don't have to worry about calculating those out. What I'm looking at is my first term multiplied by my second term in my second binomial, and my second term in my first binomial multiplied by my first one. I'm looking for that middle term. Okay, so do these give me the correct middle term? All right, and so we'll figure that out. We'll look at it. So I've got 1x times 6x, that gives me my 6x squared, and 1 times 9, that gives me my 9, but I know that's going to happen for all of them. So I've got 1x times 9, which gives me 9x, and I've got 1 times 6x, which gives me 6x. If I add those together, I get 15x. 15 is not 21, so this is not the correct factors, or it's not the right order. Okay, got to go down to the next one. I've got 1 times 1, which is 1x, and I've got 9 times 6, or 9 times 6x, which is 54x. Okay, which gives me a total of 55x. All right, 55x is not 21x, so I got to keep looking. Okay, I got to look at my next set. So I'm going to stick with 1 and 6 for now, but I'm going to change to 3 and 3. So I've got my 1x, my 6x, and my 3 and my 3. And it is worth noting that in this case, because these are the same, right? This is basically a square of these two. I don't have to look at a different order because they're both 3's and 3's. Okay. All right, so let's look at that one. So I've got 1x times 3, 3x, and I've got 3 times 6x, which is 18x. 3x plus 18x equals 21x, And there we go. I got it. So this is my correct order. Okay, these are my correct binomials and my correct factors. I could have, if this wasn't right, I would have had to keep going and basically done the same thing with 2 and 3 for my factors of A, meaning for this specific problem, I could have had up to 6 possibilities. Okay, that's not too bad, but it does mean that it takes a little while to have guess and check work sometimes. All right, let's look at this one. So I've got 2, that's pretty nice. That means I've just got 1 and 2. And 18, I've got 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And any of those ones can be my factors. But again, that's not too bad. All right, I've got just 1 factor there and 3 factors there. So when I set up my binomial, I'm going to have 1x, 2x, and then 1 and 18. Okay, so if I've got 1x times 18, well, I can already see that that's not going to work. Right, 18 is never going to work because that's more than 13. Okay, so I can just cross that one off. All right, so I've got my 1x and my 2x. I'm going to erase this and try 2 and 9. So 2 and 9. So 1 times 9 is 9x. 2 times 2x is 4x. Add them together equals 13x. And there we go. I got it. Well, that's pretty good. Right away, it worked. So sometimes guess and check works pretty quickly. Sometimes it doesn't work very quickly. But just like before, you can eliminate large factors. Okay, so I had 18 as a factor. If 18 is a factor, there's no way I can have 13x as as my middle term. Okay, so you still can eliminate some, and we'll look at those things we can eliminate and kind of the trends that we can look at in our next video.